Hello everyone, my name is Crazy M and today I'm going to show you how you can unlock Naval Strike, weapons and gadgets. Now these assignments are not yet on the battle log, but they are in the game and you can fulfill them and so unlock these weapons. We can unlock all weapons except for the new sniper rifle because it requires Naval Strike maps for the assignment, but everything else is good to go. One thing to also keep in mind that battle bags are not able to be accessed via battle log for these weapons, so you have to open them in-game if you want to receive all your new unlocks for those weapons. So let's start off with the new assault rifle, the AR160. The assignment you have to do is called Spare Time Sniper. It requires you to get 3 assault rifle ribbons and 20 headshots with assault rifles. So these things should be done quite easily. You will get them certainly over time if you play with assault rifles. Any assault rifle counts, so knock yourself out, and they should be quite easy to do. We have also the first bit of stats for these weapons. The AR160 seems to be a quite decent close to medium range gun, not so much for long range because the recoil patterns are not that nice, but it has a decent rate of fire, good bullet velocity, so knock yourself out. I had a lot of fun playing with it the first few rounds I played with it. It is quite capable really of medium range combat and really quite a killer in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to spend more time with that gun. Continuing on, we're gonna take a look at the PDW for the engineer. It is the SR-2. The unlock requires you to destroy 20 boats. So again, it doesn't have to happen in one round, but this is quite a bit tricky in my opinion, because you have to destroy the boat while the enemy is in it, which can be sometimes quite a bit of a challenge because enemies do tend to get out of boats once they're disabled. And what I would suggest you go on Parasol Storm and either run around in an attack boat, but what I did was just put M-slams or mines into the water so that boats drive over it, and then run around with a javelin and try to take out jet skis because they also count as boats and they are one-hit kill. So that's, I guess, one of the easiest ways to do it. So yeah, the SR-2 is quite a unique weapon so far. What we have seen, it is definitely a really high fire rate weapon, but really limited on range. It has a horrible recoil pattern in my opinion, lots of side-to-side recoil, but a really high rate of fire, and so yeah, really close range. Might be really good on really tight maps. I wasn't so convinced by this weapon overall. I believe there are better PDWs for a more all-around balanced loadout, but it still might be fun to play around with that one. Moving on, we have the new machine gun, the AWS, and this one is quite a unique one and one that I'm quite looking forward to spending a lot more time with, because the first few rounds I played with was a lot of fun. So the assignment you have to do for that is called Swiss Cheese, and it requires you to get 3 LMG ribbons and destroy 3 vehicles as support. Not hard to do in my opinion, not at all, especially if you play some infantry centric maps. You're gonna get that LMG ribbon as fast as possible and then just go on some maps, play around with some C4, and you're gonna get 3 vehicles destroyed in no time. Now this weapon is quite unique for an LMG because it has a relatively high rate of fire, it is easy to control in terms of recoil, it hasn't got too much of a vertical recoil, quite a bit of horizontal, so not too accurate over range, but still pretty nice, and it handles really more like an assault rifle and is really easy to play with. Pretty much the only variant for a light machine gun that we have that comes closer to a more aggressive for the support player. I quite like it. It hasn't got that much damage potential because as of now it shoots assault rifle from stats wise, so I don't know if they're gonna change that. It says even in the in-game screen that it shoots 5.56 NATO, and normally the most light machine guns fire the bigger round, the 7.62, and so this is why it does less damage than most other light machine guns, but maybe that gets patched, maybe it stays that way, because I believe it's a good balance. It has a lot of rounds, high fire rate, not too long of a reload, but doesn't do that much damage, but it's still really manageable. So quite a nice weapon for me, I really enjoyed playing with it. Following that, we have the new sniper rifle, the SR338, which I'm only gonna touch very shortly. You cannot unlock it, but you can play on unranked servers that have everything unlocked, and so you can try it out a bit. It really didn't feel too powerful to me. It is a semi-auto sniper, but it goes into the sniper rifle category, so something quite new there. What you need to do to unlock it is the assignment Always Deadly, and it requires you to get 3 sniper rifle ribbons and 5 kills with C4 on Naval Strike maps. So you can't do that currently because we don't have the Naval Strike maps yet, but as I said, if you want to play with it, go on an unranked server that has everything unlocked. From the few times I played with it, and it's really hard to find people to kill on unranked servers, it really isn't that powerful. It's a 3-shot kill on body shots on longer ranges, 2 shots on headshots, so really not all that powerful. The recoil isn't too bad, but as I said, not really powerful in my opinion, and I doubt that I will use it much. Maybe as a battle rifle in more of a close range situation, but we'll see how that one plays out. Following that, we have a new sidearm, the SW40, and the assignment is called Curveball. It requires you to get 10 kills with an impact grenade, which can sometimes be a bit tricky because one grenade doesn't kill. You might need 2, but if you take the right squad specialization, you can get 2 grenades and you can take enemies out quite easily. Again, I suggest a more infantry-centered map for that assignment, but overall, if you just run with impact grenades as your grenades, you should get there eventually. Now the SW40 is more in style of an Rex or the Magnum, but is really a tinier version of it. And so far from what I've played, it is quite a bit of fun to play. It has decent fire rate, it isn't really too accurate, and I find the iron sights quite to be not as good, but I think from the whole point of aesthetics and feeling, it was really a fun experience to play with it. And so yeah, why not? Video games are all about fun in the end. Now we're coming to gadgets, and there are 2 new things we got. First one is the assault gadget, is yet another M320 3GL, and I'm gonna explain it to you in a second what it does. But the assignment that you have to do is called multi-tool, and what you have to do is get 10 kills with the underslung grenade launcher with the dart ammo, and 10 kills with the underslung grenade launcher with LVG ammo. So not too hard again. Actually, the darts have quite a bit of range, so don't be afraid to fire them at longer ranges. I found that they're quite effective even to a long range, and LVG shouldn't be a problem if you're playing on something like Metro. The M320 3GL gives you 2 magazines, so to say, with 3 grenades. The weird thing is that if you fire 1 grenade, you can reload 1 magazine full up to 3 grenades again, so that's kind of a weird mechanic. But anyhow, you can fire 3 grenades, they don't do a lot of damage. From what I've seen, they do a maximum of 77 damage if you hit the enemy player point blank range, as far as I've tested it out. So really not too much, minimum of 2 shots, more than 3 shots if you hit right next to this. But I will give it that you can really take a large group of enemies. But again, it isn't really overpowered, and I'm very glad we didn't overpower it, because this could have been horrible if it was. Anyhow, I'm again not that convinced that this gadget will be used too much, because the damage potential is just not that high. It's good for large groups, maybe for rush, cleaning our rooms and shots, but overall not too powerful. The last gadget that we are gonna get is the anti-air mine. Now mine is a bit misleading, I'm gonna tell you that in a second after I've explained the assignment. So the assignment is called Death from Below. It requires you to get 3 BDW ribbons, and you have to destroy 5 attack air vehicles with rocket launchers. So I guess it's all about from a little bird, attack helicopter, and I guess even jets, but I haven't really confirmed that. But helicopters as little birds and attack helicopters, transport helicopters do not count into that, so keep that in mind. But overall it should be fairly easy to do that. And the anti-air mine, I was a bit skeptical because I felt this would be hugely overpowered if it would work more like normal mines, that it was rather hidden and hard to spot and just take out helicopters with like 2 mines. You can take out a helicopter as such, but it isn't like that at all. These mines are rather big and huge devices which are quite easy to spot, and I guess a good gunner on an attack chopper could take them out quite easily. It's a bit more troublesome for the little bird, but again, the little bird can be repaired quite easily, so it shouldn't be too much for a problem, because these anti-helicopter mines work more like stingers in that they have a short lock-on time, and then they will track towards the helicopter, and in some instances flares and ECM work, but as with stingers it's not really reliable, so it's a bit of a 50-50 chance, but they should work. They also work against jets and attack helicopters, of course, and transport helicopters, but they only do 30 damage against scout, attack helicopters and jets, and only 20 damage versus a transport helicopter. Giving that at the maximum, you can put down 2 of those mines. You can't even take out a scout helicopter with them. You're able to disable them with that, and then if you carry a stinger as well, you can take them down, so you can be really effective anti-air loadout. But again, I don't feel that they're too overpowered. I think that in terms of little bird and jets, they're quite balanced. The attack helicopter is obviously far too weak in my opinion, but that's a whole another topic. So not too bad of a choice there. I quite like them actually. I think they're a nice addition to the game, but overall we're gonna see how that plays out in the future. So yeah guys, I wish you a lot of fun unlocking these weapons and playing with them. As for my part, I really enjoyed the new additions to the game. I hope you too do. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my content. I wish you a really nice day, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time.